Alright, I am back. We are finally going to do this video. After my last longer video on the 2 GV fabrication suits, a ton of people came to me asking where they should get their No Way Home suit. Well, as justified in that previous video, I would not recommend going to this seller to buy a Spidey suit. But in reality, I mean, not everybody has thousands of dollars to go just spend on a Spider-Man suit, me included. So it's good to have options. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best 5 options for a Spider-Man No Way Home suit. Starting off easy, we're gonna hit printcostume.com. I'd put this right around in the low to mid-tier budget range, which makes this super accessible for newcomers to cosplay. Print Costume has been around for like longer than I can remember. They originally started under the moniker of Zentai Zone, and they were making pretty basic Zentai suits for other activities. People used to just make do with these products or simply make their costumes at home. That is, of course, until the cosplay community exploded. Back when wearing the Spidey suit got super popular and a lot of people started doing it, Print Costume was relied on extremely heavily for Spidey suits. They were super easy to order, not really expensive, and they came super fast. Not to mention, because of the super high quality of these cheaper costumes, they like cemented themselves in the Spidey community, and they've been around since then. Of course, like with any company, there are customer service hiccups here and there, but they're few and far between, and these guys know what they're doing. There are so many different options available when ordering your suit from printcostume.com. Several different zipper options, entry options, fabric options, you name it, they probably have it. You can even have them separate the boots, the gloves, the mask, just like one of those comic Spidey suits from the original books. Honestly, I'd say the one we're looking at right here from printcostume.com looks great. Now, you're not getting a super shiny blue fabric or any 3D logos, of course, unless you pay for them, because they do that too. The pattern looks amazing, the colors are super vibrant, and Print Costume's sewing job is always pretty good. 8 out of 10, good suit. Now that's some shiny blue. Heroes Time has been around about as long as Print Costume, right around just the same price range too. I'd honestly say they're just as reliable, and half the time Heroes Time is willing to do more customization than Print Costume will. Their customer service is absolutely incredible, and anytime I've needed to communicate with them, I've loved doing it. They're great people. Heroes Time's No Way Home suit offers a light blue fabric that is really close to the actual model or suit used in the movie. I'd say the only small downside to this kind of fabric is that you do lose out on that lining pattern that's on the Far From Home red and black suit. Another notable detail on Heroes Time's suit is that they actually do full 3D logos. I believe what they're doing here is using some sort of fox leather and like wrapping something in it. I don't know the exact process because I haven't gotten them, but I am interested and may try it out in the future. Honestly, with how they've been progressing, I don't think it'll be a long amount of time until we see something like this on the Heroes Time website. They're super close already, and I can only imagine once they find the right fabric that they can actually print on, it's game over. They're just gonna be making those suits. This website also offers pretty much all of the same customization options that Print Costume does, and that just makes it super easy to get in and out of the suit and just have it the way you want. So if you prefer to go with this company, at least you still get all of those options. This is absolutely one of my favorite suits on this list. I think it looks great, and with a little bit of tweaking and a little more accuracy, it's like top-notch stuff.
Overall, the suit is really good. For any like Spider-Man cosplayers that are like on a budget, I think this is like, I think Heroes Time is like the best site if you're just starting off with Spider-Man cosplay. I really like this suit, and I'm glad I'm able to show all of you my new Spider-Man suit. Thank you for watching.
9 out of 10, I'll probably get one. Almost everybody knows at this point that you can go on Google, type in Spider-Man suit, and something is gonna come up. It'll probably give you some very pretty results for a suit that's only 30 bucks, which isn't necessarily clickbait. $30 suits are a thing. They do exist, but it is a dangerous game and you need to be careful. A lot of these companies and shops on these sites will go around and they'll buy a pattern from a smaller creator and then just make profit off of it forever. This is super unethical, and it goes against like what the entire community stands for. So be careful, please. Some of these patterns you can tell are being made by the factories producing them. So when you're on a budget, these are the ones that you want to go with. The suits listed on sites like Sim Cosplay and Pro Cosplay are all in-house patterns, meaning they're making it and the entire suit on their own. These are about half the price of a print costume or Heroes Time suit, and they only arrive in a few days. So it makes it really, really accessible to people who don't want to make that jump to a customized print costume suit. I suppose you could ask for more accuracy on some of these patterns, but at the price point that you're getting it at and the sewing / fabric quality, it's pretty dang good. 6 out of 10, good first suit. As an honorable mention, I just wanted to include this because it's the cheapest and technically easiest option. Obviously, it's not for everyone, but you can make it yourself. I probably wouldn't do this. I just learned how to sew like literally a couple weeks ago. I've seen so many different Reddit threads and Instagram profiles of people who have made this suit on their own with just getting the fabric types, and it looks amazing. I honestly have faith in you guys, so if you decide to take on that, I want to see it. I think you guys would do great, especially if you already have the basics on sewing or you have a sewing machine. To me, it just solidifies the fact that this suit would be one that Peter makes in his house. With all of these different people literally doing it, it just kind of makes it feel more classic and like a realistic Spidey suit, which I think is cool. I just wanted to mention this as a possibility. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's super easy to get wrapped up in how easy it is to order things online. So it's at this point that we jump up a bit on the wallet and pain ratio scale. RPC Studio is super well known in the Spider-Man community for good and not so good reasons. For one, they screen print pretty much all of their costumes, which is awesome because you can get that screen accurate 3D texture. Their face shells are probably the best mass-produced face shells other than Joy Design, and we don't buy from those guys, and we'll talk about that soon. Don't buy from these people. But RPC's face shells are probably the best mass-produced ones out there right now. The shape can be a little weird, and they do use foam, but compared to other sites like Print Costume and Heroes Time, their face shells are much better. The quality of the pattern, the threads, the sewing, it's always top-notch, not to mention the fabric quality is super durable. The current black suit I have from them has treated me very well, but the screen printing on that suit is extremely thin and not very 3D, so there isn't really much to rub off. But from what I've seen, anything that actually has a texture that rises from the fabric does not end well. The armpits, the fingers, the hands will all rub off. Not to mention back in 2017 when Homecoming was coming out, they did their own version of the Homecoming suit, and the whole ass of the costume would just pretty much disappear. As I said, I do keep hearing that they're improving their screen printing, but I have not gotten one of their recent suits, nor do I necessarily plan to right away, so I'm just taking it with word of mouth, and that's kind of all I can give you guys right now. Now, I have seen a few people with RPC's No Way Home suit, and it looks pretty dang good. The pattern is pretty accurate, and I love the colors. You do have that lining pattern on the blue again, so that has come back at a higher price point. They add a dotted 3D screen printed texture, and it looks like the webbing is shiny. If I was positive the screen printing would never rub off, then I would absolutely get one of these. RPC has a lot of products with a lot of potential, but their price point is a little hard to justify when the screen printing isn't really always gonna stay. 7 out of 10, could be better. Back on the lower price side of things, I wanted to mention a company that I'll actually be working with here in the future. These guys are Avante Studios, and they've got some pretty awesome, really detailed suits for about 150 to 200 bucks. These suits are not completely screen printed. However, for a little bit more than the suits that we were talking about at the beginning of this list, you can get a lot more detailing, and it'll include a face shell. On top of that face shell and lens set that they will include with every suit, they also do U-shaped zippers and install shoes without it even being an extra charge. I'm really excited to try one of their products out myself. I'm not going to reveal what the design is just yet, but it is pretty cool and it'll be one of a kind. Well, that was the lower tier of Instagram creators and pricing. Let's go ahead and jump all the way to the top, the most expensive and the most renowned, SuitUp PE. They do make No Way Home suits, screen printed completely head to toe, and they just showed that they are doing a dye sub run of the costume. On top of the textured fabrics, they do all the bells and whistles with the face shell, with the shoes, with the zippers, but this is where things change. I do not recommend going to SuitUp PE. I have a video to look out for soon detailing this extensively, but people have been waiting years for their suits. Literally. At the best, they're just very behind, but something is going on behind the scenes of SuitUp that is not getting handled. So as of right now, I do not recommend placing an order with them, or you will be waiting a very, very long time. And that'll do it. That is your 5 options. And let's go over them one more time. You have print costume. You have Heroes Time. You have Sim Cosplay and Pro Cosplay for cheaper suits. You have RPC Studio, which is a little more expensive, but not a horrible option. And lastly, you have Instagram makers. Some of them are trustworthy, some of them are timely, some of them are not. And of course, that last honorable mention, you could just make it yourself. I'm not gonna do that, I can't do that, but I'm sure plenty of you out there know how to sew, and if not, it's honestly fun to learn. I enjoy doing it. Maybe in the future, I'll make an actual ordering process video on some of these companies so you can see how it works when you use a custom pattern. Let me know if you guys need a video like that, or if you've seen plenty of them out there and you don't need my help. The process can just be kind of confusing, so if you guys need that help, I'm willing to provide it.